Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'll tell you what are constants in SQL. So as we know, integrity is the most important thing in every database. Okay, as you know, a database consists of loads of tables, and there may be chances that sometimes we may lose the integrity of the DB. So in order to ensure that every table will remain in consistent state even after performing any of the activity on the DB, we need some kind of rules. Okay, we need some kind of source that will ensure this integrity, this consistency. So for this purpose we use constraints in SQL. Okay, so basically the data integrity can be performed with the help of two things, by using some integrity constants that are provided by SQL, and the second thing is by using the database triggers. Okay, so database triggers are basically a kind of PL/SQL command. So we will discuss this when we will start our series on PL/SQL. But today we will do our SQL constraints that are provided by SQL, that are integrity constraints. Okay, that are used to ensure the integrity of the DB. Okay, now we will discuss all the constraints that are provided by SQL. Okay, the very first over here is not null constraint. So what is the use of this not null constraint? Let us understand this with the help of an example. Let's suppose this is a table. This is a department table that consists of 3 columns, and if we have applied a not null constraint on this particular column, that is department name. Okay, so what it will do? Okay, so the main work of this not null constraint is that it will restrict all the values that have been entered in this column should not be null. Okay, so it will restrict any record to be entered in this table that will consist of dname as a null. Okay, for example, if this is a table, it consists of over here 2 records. Okay, and if we try to enter this one record in this table, okay, firstly what it will check the constraint, that is not null constraint on this column, and will check out whether the value is not null. No, this record consists of a value that is marketing, that means this column is not null. So what it will do, it will allow here, it will allow this record in this table. Okay, so this table is allowed no matter what is the value in other columns over here. No, it will have only work with this column because the not null constant is provided in this column. Okay, like this, if we try to enter this record in this table, now we can see over here this column is null, but we have applied a not null constant in this column, and what it specifies, that every item in this column should be there and it should not be null. So what will happen, it will not allowed, right? So this is what the use of this not null constant, what it will do, it will restrict, okay, any column in this table to be null. Okay, so this is what the use of this not null constant. Now here we can also apply not null constant on more than one table, more than one columns, and now we'll discuss how do we apply a not null constant. Okay, so in any type of constraint that we will discuss further, like not null, primary key, unique key, every constraint can be applied in two ways. Okay, at column level, and second is what, at table level. Okay, now what is the mean of the column level constraint? In this we have to specify the constraint with the name of the column. Okay, whenever we are defining the column, we will exactly create the constraint with the column name. At table level, what we do, firstly we will define all the columns, and at the end of the table we will define the constraints. Okay, what is the benefit of this one is what, in this we can define the constraint on more than one columns at one time, right? But in this case we have to define the constraint with all the columns. Okay, if we want to apply the same constraint on two columns, in this case what we will have to do, we have to specify that constraint on both the two columns separately. But in this case we can do this in one go by specifying both the columns in this list. Okay, now we will discuss how do we apply the not null constant on this table. Okay, at column level. Now let's see how do we do. See, at the time of creation, so the code will be create table. What is the table name? Let's suppose the table name is depart. Okay, create table depart, and we will, here is a bracket. Again, this we will specify all the columns. The first column is what, department number, and then its data type is what? Number. And here its size. The second column is what? D name. Now just understand it briefly. D name, and what is its data type? Its data type is varchar. Okay, because it is string type. Yeah, varchar 2 we can say, and its size will be, let's suppose, 15. Now as I told you, we have applied our notional constant on this column. So at column level, what we'll have to do, we will have to write the constant with the column name. Okay, so what we will do, what is the syntax? Column name, data type, and then see, this is optional. In this we have to we used to specify the constant and the name of the constant. Okay, whatever the name that we want to give to this constant, so it is optional. We can do this and we cannot. Now for this we will define this over here. Okay, so we will say right over here constant, and constant name, like let's suppose we have said not null. We have given this name to this constant, and we will simply write not null. Okay, so here is simple comma symbol. Okay, so this is what the syntax. Okay, for specifying a constant at column level, we have to specify with the creation of the column. Okay, next we will create a third column, that is d log, and it is also varchar 2 type, and its size is, let's suppose, 6. So this is a simple creation of our table. Select star from June. So this is a simple way, okay, we used to specify a constant at column level. Okay, and this we have to specify the constant with the column. Okay, if we the same way, if we try to apply this constant at table level, so in that case what we will do, firstly we will simply create the table, create table depart. Okay, in this we will specify all the, firstly we will specify all the columns. Okay, the first column is department number, it is of number type. Okay, and the second is what? Department name, it is of varchar 2 type. Okay, and the third is what? dlog, which is another varchar 2 type. Okay, now we have created the table, right? So these are the columns that we have applied over here. Okay, so as I told you, at table level what we do, firstly we specify all the columns, and at the end of the table we used to specify the constants that we want to apply with respect to the column list over here. See, this is again optional in this case. Okay, so in this I will not apply this, I will just simply write this. Okay, this constant, like not null, and the column list on which we want to apply this not null constant. For now I have applied only this not null constant on only one table, that is d name. So I will name this column over here like this. Okay, so this is a simple select star from Dune. Okay, so this is a simple method for creating a table and applying the not null constant at table level, and this is at the column level. So this is the way how do we apply a not null constant, and this is the use of a not null constant. The next constant is unique key constant. Okay, so what is the use of this unique key constant? Let's suppose if we have specified this unique key constant on this column. Okay, so it will restrict and will state that any value that is going to be entered in this column should be unique from all the values that exists in this table. Okay, like and they should not be same. Okay, let's suppose in this table if we try to enter this record, so it will not valid. What is the reason behind it? Because the department 30 also exists over here. Okay, so thus it states that every value that is going to be entered should be unique from the value that exists in this column. Okay, so what we will say, okay, so it will not be allowed. Okay, if we try to enter this record, okay, this will be allowed because it does not specify anything about the null value. Okay, so this record will be allowed. Okay, it only says that the value that is going to be entered should be unique. Okay, and if it is null, it doesn't matter, it should be unique, it should not be same. Okay, so this is where the use of this unique key constraint. And if we talk about how do we specify, okay, a unique key constant, so it is same as a not null constant, but in this we have just to write unique instead of not null. Okay, so everything is same, the syntax is completely same. So this is where the use of this unique key constant. Next is a primary key constant, and this is the most important constant. Okay, now, so till now we have discussed a null constant and unique key constant. Okay, but primary key constant is a type of constant that used to integrate both of these constant, that is unique constant and null constant. Okay, if we specify this primary key constant on a particular column, so that column state that any value that is going to be entered should not null and should be unique. Okay, both these constants should fulfill at that column. Okay, let's suppose in this column, if we try to enter this value, okay, that is this record, it consists of 30. Now we can see that here 30 is this 30 is also exist in this column, so it is going to be effect on the unique key constant. Okay, it is going to be dismiss the unique key constant, so it will not be allowed. Okay, both these constants should be true. Okay, so it is not following the unique key constant because the value is repeating. 30 is also present in this department number, so it is not allowed. Second, if we try to enter a null value, okay, if we try to enter a null value here, okay, because we have applied a primary constant on this column. Okay, we have applied a primary key constant on this column, so it is also not allowed because it is dismissing this constant, that is null constant, because the value is over here null. So both these two constants should be true. Now in this last record we can see that the value that we are going to enter in this column is also unique and it is not null, so this is the only record that will be true in this case. Okay, in case of primary key constant. Okay, primary key constant is an integrated version of unique key constant and null key constant. So this is the use of primary key constant. Now if we talk about its syntax, it is same as the unique key constant and not null constant, and this we also just need to write primary key, okay, instead of the unique. Everything is same. Okay, so yeah, this is a primary key constant. Next is a foreign key constant. Okay, now what does this constant do? It is used to ensure the referential integrity on the tables. Okay, basically this kind of constant is applied on two tables. Okay, here we have taken two tables, it is a department table and it is a employee table. Okay, so this type of constant is used to ensure referential integrity. Now I'll tell you what is kind of referential integrity over here. Let's suppose if this is a department table and this is an employee table. Okay, now this employee table is taking a column that is department number that is also present in this table. Okay, this is the parent table and this is the child table that is referencing this table. Okay, so in this case we will say this table as it is a reference table, and it is a referencing table that is referring to this table, referencing table. Okay, that is referencing to this table. Okay, so in this case we used to apply a foreign key constant. What does it specifies? Let's suppose if we are going to enter an employee in this table, okay, an employee in this table, and let's suppose if we have entered and department number that does not exist in this table, so what it will do? If there is no any department that is existing in a company, so how do we write a record of that employee? Okay, let's suppose if you're going to here take an example over here. Let's suppose we have entered a record like this. In this the department number is what, 40, but as we know this is a department number that is showing the entire list of department that exist in that company. Okay, if the department 40 is not existing in the company, so how do we write employee ID? Okay, how do they any employee that exists from that department? Okay, so this is for the referential integrity. Okay, so this is the primary key in this table and this is the foreign key because it is referencing this table. Okay, so if we have applied a foreign key constant on this table, that is this column, so what it will restrict, it will restrict all the value that is going to be entered in this table should be matched from these values. Okay, because this is a common thing that one must know, that if we try to enter a department that does not exist over here, so how do we write the department over here? Okay, this is a common thing. Okay, so this is for restricting this kind of integrity. Okay, for producing this kind of integrity we use this referential integrity, that is foreign key constant. Okay, so let's suppose if we can try to enter this record, it will an invalid record. Okay, because department 40 does not exist in this table. Okay, now if we try to enter this record, okay, now in this we can see that it is null. Here it is a null because it is consisting of no value. It will be allowed. Okay, it will be allowed. We can enter a null value, but we cannot enter a different value that will not exist, that does not exist over here. Okay, so it is not, it is valid. Now if we talk about this one record, it is also valid because department 20 exists in this department table. Okay, so we can enter an employee in this table that will belong to this 20 department. Okay, so this is where the foreign key constant. Now the syntax for using this foreign key constant is quite different as compared to the primary key constant, unique key constant. Here we can see that the syntax is like this. Everything is same, but the name should be like this, references. In this we have to specify the name of the parent table from which it is referencing. For example, if we try to apply a foreign key constant on this column, in this we have to specify that the name of the parent table, that is a reference table to which it is going to be referencing. Now if we try to write this foreign key constant on this department number in employee table, so we will do this at column level. So I will say like this, department number. So I'm just specifying over here the name of the column on which I'm going to apply the foreign key, because at column level we have to specify the constant with the column. Okay, while we are creating the column, let's so what it will happen, how do we write over here? So it will be column name, and its data type. What is its data type? It is number type, number. And the size, let's suppose I've given a 5 size, it is 5. Okay, now after this we will define the constant. Now it is optional field, as I told you. Okay, it's your choice, you can give the name to the constant or not. Okay, next we will write over here references, and the name of the referenced table. Now as we know, the employee table is references. Here in this you can see that the employee table, this column is going to be references this table. Okay, so this is a reference table. As I told you, it is a referencing table, and it is a reference table to which this column is referencing. So we will specify the name of the department. Okay, that is department, and to which column it is going to be referencing? It is going to be referencing department number. Okay, here in this we can see that it is referencing department number column of this department table. Okay, so we will specify this. Okay, that is we want to apply a foreign key constant on this column which references the department table, the department number column of department table. Okay, so this is a simple way how do we apply a constant at column level with the column name. Okay, so the same thing if we try to apply at the table level, so we will define it like this. Okay, we will simply at the end, okay, at the end after creating all the columns, we will simply write foreign key column name like this, foreign. Everything before this everything will be same. As we create a simple table, we will specify all the columns with their respective data types, and at the end we will write foreign foreign key and the name of the column on which we want to apply the foreign key, and we are going to apply the foreign key on department number. Okay, here this is the table, that is department number. After this we will write to which this table is going to be referencing, that is references. What is the table name to which it is going to be referencing? It is department table. Okay, and what is the column of that department? Which is the column? That is department number. So this is a simple syntax if we try to create a foreign key constant at table level, and it is at the column level. Okay, so this is a simple way of creating a foreign key constant, and it is basically used for ensuring the referential integrity. Okay, so this is what a foreign key constant. So next, and we can say the last constraint that is provided by SQL is check constraint. Okay, so now what is the use of this check constraint over here? It is basically used when we know in advance what kind of answers that should be entered in that particular column. Okay, for example, in a column that consists of true and false answers, okay, in this we are sure that either the value should be true or either the value should be false. Okay, so in this case we used to apply a check constraint on that particular column. Okay, for example, in this employee table we can see there this is a gender column, and in this we know that there will be only three values that can exist in this column. Either it will be male, either it will be female, or either it will be others. Okay, so we will apply a check constant in order to ensure that a person, okay, that who is entering his record should must enter the value in between these three options. Okay, so we will apply a check constant. Okay, so if we have applied check constant, see a check constant on this column. Okay, this column, so what will happen if we try to enter a record like this? Here these are the some values that are here you can assume any value in this salary column, in this job column, in this salary column. I have not mentioned over here, you can assume anything. Okay, these are not null over here. Just don't get stuck over here that these are null. No, these are not null, there's some value, so you can assume any value over here. So let's suppose if I try to enter a record like this, here you can see that I'm entering a value that is Aman. Now you can see Amman is not in the list of male, female and others. Okay, so it will not be allowed, right? After this, if we try to enter a value like this, male, now male exists in the option list of check, that is male, female and others, so it will be allowed. Okay, so this is where the use of this check constant. Now how do we apply a check constant? So this is a simple way of applying a check constant. Okay, that is constant name, check column name in options. Okay, here we will specify the column on which we want to apply the check constant, that is we want to apply it on gender column. Okay, in, and what are the options over here? Male, female or others. Okay, so this is a simple way of applying a check constant. So this is check constant, right? So this is a way how do we apply a check constant. This is a use of this check constant. Thank you. So this is all about our constants in SQL. I hope so you get a useful way to understand all these constants. Thank you for watching my video.